My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of James Watkins' filmography from worst to best. And this guy is one of the most underrated directors in Hollywood, and he's one of the best horror filmmakers in Hollywood. Like, this guy just doesn't get the credit he deserves, and the fact that he has only directed 4 movies in 16 years is a crime. Like, I wish he was directing a new movie every year. He's just that good, and even his episode of Black Mirror, Shut Up and Dance, is the best episode of the entire series. But let's begin talking about his movies with his worst one, and it's the only one I don't like, and it's Bastille Day. The only non-horror movie he has directed, and I watched this movie 3 weeks ago, and I forget almost everything about it. There's one rooftop chase that I liked, but the rest of the movie is just as bland, as generic, as forgettable as they come, so that's why it's easily his worst movie. But let's talk about the good ones now, and in third place is the brand new Speak No Evil, and I really liked this movie. I actually hate the original Danish film because I don't think the characters are written in a believable manner in the slightest. I think the script is just garbage, and it's a movie that feels bleak only for the sake of it. But this movie just completely worked for me, and it corrected all the wrongs of the original. Let's begin talking about the performances, and James McAvoy is amazing in this movie. One of the best performances of the year. He is menacing and psychotic, but also charming and likable, and he just nails every beat. And Asling Francisri is also really great in this movie as well. Everyone else really good. So the cast is a real strength, but I just like everything this movie had to offer. It is an uncomfortable movie. It is a tense movie. It is a thrilling movie, and it's also really funny. It's just a great movie to watch, and I think it's incredibly well directed. I think the movie explores just how much are you willing to tolerate before you act accordingly in a very effective manner. Like, when you're watching this movie, you're just thinking to yourself, what would I do in this situation? And I just had so much fun with it. I do think the climax isn't as brutal and doesn't go as far as I would have liked it to go, but it's still a fun finale for this movie, and I just really dug it. So that's why it's in third place. In second place is The Woman in Black, and this movie is so underrated. Like, the gothic atmosphere is just perfect. I love the way this movie looks and feels. The production design is also great. Daniel Radcliffe carries this movie incredibly well, and who's the other actor? Is it Ciarán Hinds? I think it might be Ciarán Hinds, but he also does a really good job. But this movie is just very creepy. You know, you watch a movie like Paranormal Activity, fantastic, love it, but it takes place over the span of multiple nights. Insidious focuses on a bunch of other nights. But so much of this movie is one night. Like a good 25% of it. So there's all these spooky things happening, but then the scene doesn't end. It just keeps going and going and going, and it gets scarier and scarier, and I just had chills for so much of this movie. Like, I was really spooked out, and it's just so effectively made. The sound design is great, especially with those toys. The look of that hallway and how you're always looking at the end, seeing if the woman in black is there. And I also like how you get familiar with the locations here. And I also like the story. There's plenty here about grief and parenthood, and it does explore those ideas really well, and I love the ending to this movie. So yeah, like, I really love it. It is a beautifully made movie. Like, the fact that he can do psychological horror like Eden Lake and Speak No Evil, and then he does this gothic haunted house movie and knocks it out of the park, just shows the range that this guy has. So that's why it's my second favorite movie. But my favorite is Eden Lake. I watched it for the first time last year, and I believe I gave it an 8.5. But this is a movie that has sat so incredibly well to me that I would bump it up to a 9. Like, this movie is that good. Kelly Riley is phenomenal here. Carries the movie with such ease, and she sells you on every emotion she needed to. Michael Fassbender does a really good job, and Jack O'Connell is also fantastic. So you got yourself some really strong cast members, but the story and the escalation of it is so well handled. Well, yes, this movie is tense and thrilling throughout. It is a very psychologically effective movie of these kids just being despicable to this couple. But the way this movie ends, holy shit! It is one of those endings that just makes me feel sick to my stomach. It is a movie, well, when it ended, I just wanted to cry. Like, it is such a horrific, haunting ending, and like, I don't want to give anything away, but those screams at the end just have stayed with me. It is a truly disturbing movie, and there's also plenty here about how parents shape the kids in their life. And there's just so many layers to this movie that, yes, it is just a really great horror movie for the most part, but that ending is an all-timer. So, yeah, this is a movie that I'm going to watch again real soon, actually, and I can't wait. It is a movie that has stayed with me for almost a year now, and it's just truly exceptional. So that's my ranking of James Watkins' filmography, but what's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin,